Hello, I'm live. I just had my message to say that I'm live, and it's all working so far. So hello everybody. I hope you're well. My name is Bentley. I'm a yoga teacher from Birmingham, and I'll be taking you through this next 30-minute yoga flow. So thank you so much for joining me. I've been an NHS volunteer responder for about a year now. I've been doing the check-in and chat volunteering, which has been it's been excellent in terms of trying to kind of feel like I'm playing like a bit of a part in trying to support people through this pandemic. And I've been able to kind of do that flexibly around my full-time job, which is great. But having the opportunity to do things like this is really amazing. So I hope that this provides just 30 minutes to celebrate you all as volunteers, for you to just take a little bit of time out of your day and just do a little bit of movement, just relax a little bit. Even if you spend half an hour lying on the floor, then that's still good in my opinion. So it's going to be a half an hour class. It is suitable for all levels. So even if you have no experience with yoga, that's completely fine. We're going to take it nice and easy, and I'll talk you through everything as we go. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and we'll get started. So if you have a mat, come down to sit on the mat. If you don't, then a bit of soft floor or the carpet is absolutely fine. And we'll just start in a comfortable seated position. And just coming to rest on the floor, bringing these shoulders up towards the ears and rolling them down and back, just to make sure that you're sitting up nice and straight, nice and comfortable, hands resting on the knees. And we're just going to take a moment just to close the eyes, just so that we can block out the outside world just for a few moments, just take our attention inwards so we can focus on ourselves for the next 30 minutes. So closing the eyes, and we're just going to take a few deep breaths in and out of the nose. So let's inhale for 1 and exhale 1, and inhaling for 2 and exhale 2. One more, we inhale for 3 and exhaling, open up the eyes. Let's take the arms up overhead, take a nice big deep stretch, fingertips to touch. And as you exhale, take the right hand now down to the side of the body, taking the left ear, the left arm over the ear, and taking the gaze underneath the arms. I've just realised that I might be coming across in a mirror image to you, so if you prefer, you can just follow what I'm doing. And the more that you bend that bottom arm, the more you will feel that nice stretch along the side. And let's inhale, coming back up to centre, and exhaling, we just go all the way over to the other side. So left hand to the floor, right arm over right ear, and taking the gaze underneath the arm. Again, just testing kind of how far you want to go by bending that bottom arm. You get that nice stretch along the side ribs. And inhaling, back up to centre. Let's replace the hands on the knees and just warm up the neck a little bit. So we're just going to take the right ear to right shoulder, and then rolling the chin to the chest, left ear, left shoulder, and then complete the circle by drawing a big semicircle with the nose. And again, right ear, right shoulder, chin to chest, left ear, left shoulder, and then completing the circle, big circle with the nose. And we're just going to go the other way. So bringing the left ear to left shoulder, rolling the head down, chin to chest, really feeling every move, right ear, right shoulder, and again, drawing that big circle with the nose, and back to centre. Good. So now let's come onto our hands and knees. We're coming into our cat-cow. So coming onto your tabletop position, knees are underneath the hips and wrists are underneath the shoulders. Spread those fingers nice and wide, take up some space, and then imagine that your legs are coming out behind like 2 train tracks, nice and parallel to each other. And then from here, we're just going to start to mobilise the spine, just warming up through the back. We're going to inhale, arch through the spine, take the gaze to the ceiling, tailbone to the ceiling, in a, I always forget, is this cat or cow? Cow pose. And then we arch through, rounding through the spine now. Take the gaze towards the knees, coming into our cat pose. Inhale, reversing the motion again, arching through the spine, gaze to the ceiling. Exhale, round through the spine, gaze to the feet. Let's do another one like that. Just inhaling, arching through the spine, gaze to the ceiling. And one more, rounding through the spine, gaze to the feet. Push the mat away, feeling the stretch across the back of the shoulders, and then back into that neutral tabletop position. From here, let's take the big toes to touch. The knees are going as wide as the mat, and we're just bringing the seat towards the feet as much as you can. Coming to rest the seat on the heels, taking the hands out in front, and then resting the forehead on the mat, coming into our child's pose. So this is a lovely resting posture, and if at any point during this next few minutes you want to just take a child's pose, then please do feel free to do that at any time. So resting the forehead on the mat, and maybe even rocking the forehead gently from side to side, just giving yourself a really lovely little forehead massage here. Feeling the tension release in the hips and a nice stretch across the backs of the shoulders. Take a couple more breaths here in your child's pose. I always feel like I could stay here all day, but we'll come back up to our hands and knees into our tabletop position. This time we're going to tuck the toes under. We're going to bring that seat towards the feet again, but this time straight through the legs, straightening into our downward facing dog. So pushing away from the mat like we did with our cat-cow, keeping the fingers splayed nice and wide. Don't worry about how far away your heels are from the mat. That's really not the aim here. We're just starting to work into the hamstrings. So just maybe pedal through the feet a little bit. Just warming up through the legs. And just notice if your shoulders are pressing against the ears. And maybe just see if you can roll the shoulders out a little bit and create some space. And then coming to stillness, look towards the hands. And then slowly, see if you can walk the feet towards the hands. You can keep the legs as bent as you need to. We're still warming up here. And then exhale, folding over the legs again. Keep those knees nice and bent. Taking opposite elbow with opposite hand. And then we're just coming into this ragdoll position here. So just gently swaying from side to side. Just letting everything kind of hang loose a little bit here. No one can see you. No one's watching, so just enjoy this moment. And then releasing the grip on the elbows. We're going to come up to rise, up to standing, but allow the head to be the last thing that comes up. So really take your time, feeling every vertebrae as you start to stand up and lift the head last. Let's just roll those shoulders up to the ears again and down and back. One more, shoulders up to the ears and down and back. So now we're just going to come to stand. If you're not already there, towards the head of your mats, just so you've got lots of space behind you. We're going to move through more of a flowing sequence now. We're going to do a few sun salutations, and we'll do a couple of balancing postures before we come down to the mat to finish. Okay, so let's work through our sun salutations. We're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale, release the hands down towards the mat. Inhale, coming into a halfway lift, fingertips on the mat or on the shins. And exhale, we fold again. I'm going to take the right foot back into a lunge, then the left foot coming to your plank position only for a moment. Let's lower the knees and then lower the chest and the chin. Keep the hips lifted and then pulling the mat towards you. Pull the chest forward, coming up into our baby cobra. Really nice gentle back bend here to get us started. Exhale, we release. And then we're doing that thing again. We tuck the toes, take the seat towards the feet, And then we stretch through the legs, coming into that downward facing dog. So just notice if this downward facing dog feels a little bit different. Adjust the feet if you need to. Again, you might want to take a bit of a walk, take your dog for a walk. And then look into hands. And again, let's step those feet towards the hands and exhale, folding over the legs. Inhale, we come up to stand. Exhale, back in that standing mountain pose. Good. And we go again. Inhale, arms come up and overhead to touch. Exhale, we fold, arms down, hands towards the floor. Keep those knees bent if you need to. Inhale, we lift into a halfway lift. Keep the back nice and flat. Exhale, we refold. This time, we're going to take the left foot back first, then the right foot, holding that plank position just for a moment. Then we lower the knees, we lower the chest and the chin. And again, imagine you're pulling the mat towards you, coming into that kind of a bit of it's like a mini upward facing dog. So it's like baby cobra. And exhale, release, tucking the toes and making your way back into your downward facing dog. So we're going to speed this one up just a little bit. Now you know how the sequence goes. So look into the hands, stepping the feet towards the hands, and exhale, we fold. Inhale, we come up to stand and we're going straight in for round 3. Inhale, arms come up and overhead. Exhale, we fold, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, that halfway lift, flat back position. And exhale, we fold. Right foot back, left foot back. This time, let's see if we can hold that plank position. You can always come to the knees if you need to. Just here for 3, for 2, for 1. And then either lower the knees or lower to the belly, all the way from plank. And again, we lift the chest. From here, you might want to push through the hands and lift the thighs, coming into our full upward facing dog. From there, we're going to tuck the toes, come back into our downward facing dog, starting to feel a little bit easier now, hopefully, feeling a little bit more flexible in the hamstrings. Let's look to hands, and this time we're going to step the right foot in between the hands. So either in one step if you can, if not, then step and pull the leg through. It's not really a right or a wrong way of getting there, as long as we all meet here in this low lunge. So lowering the back knee down, we're going to inhale the arms up, coming into a low lunge on the right hand side. You can keep the toes tucked, or you can have the foot flat on the ground, whatever feels more comfortable. And if you can, take the gaze to the ceiling. Be feeling a really nice stretch, hopefully, along the hip flexors on the front of the thigh. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Reframe the foot with the hands. We're going to keep the left hand on the inside of the foot as we peel the right arm up towards the ceiling, twisting to the right. Taking the gaze to the fingertips. And if you can, tucking the back toes under and coming up onto feet, coming into a twisted low lunge. As you exhale, reframe the foot with the hands. And then from here, going to make our way back to downward facing dog. So that's either onto the knees or straight into downward dog. From here, let's look to the hands, and this time step the left foot in between the hands, lowering that right knee down. And then inhale, arms come up, coming to that low lunge on the other side. The more you sink into that front leg, the deeper the stretch that you'll feel. So this is all in your control. You just go as far as you feel comfortable. I nearly topple over as I say that. And take the gaze up to the ceiling. Shoulders away from the ears. We inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale. As we exhale, we reframe the foot with the hands. The right hand stays on the inside of the foot as we peel that left arm up this time, coming up into your twisted lunge. And if you're feeling strong, if you're feeling ready, you could lift that back heel off the ground, coming into our twisted low lunge. Good, another deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, taking the gaze back down to the mat, reframing the foot with the hands. And again, we're going to step back into downward facing dog. Good. From here, look towards the hands. And either, as we have done before, walk towards the hands, or if you're starting to feel a little bit more energetic, maybe hop the feet towards the hands. And then exhale, we refold again. Inhale, we come up to rise, arms up and overhead. And exhale, back into that mountain pose. Good. So we're just going to move through a few standing sequences now that we've done our sun salutations. So coming to stand towards the front of the mat. We're going to bring the left knee up towards the chest. And then we're going to step that left foot back and then raise the arms up. So coming into our crescent lunge. So similar to our low lunge. So we still want to make sure that our knee is tracking in line with the ankle. And shoulders are away from the ears. And take the gaze up, if you can, towards the ceiling. So really getting a nice stretch in both the upper body, but also strengthening the lower body. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. So we're going to start to edge that back foot towards you. And then when you start to get a little bit more stable, we're going to tip the weight forward, bringing all of the weight into that right leg, bringing the left leg behind you into a balancing posture, our warrior 3. Now this is quite tricky, so just have a go, have a bit of fun with it. So from that lunge, just go through that again, from the lunge, step that back foot slightly in towards you, and then when you get to that tipping point, raise that back leg, arms come out behind you like airplane arms, coming into that warrior 3. Amazing posture for concentration, for strengthening the glutes and the thighs. And then exhale, slowly come back up to stand. So hopefully there weren't too many bits of furniture or anything broken there. And we're going to go on the other side now. So this time we're going to bring the right knee in towards the chest. And the same thing again, take a big step back. Arms come up and overhead into that crescent lunge. So just check these little bits that we've spoken about, knee in line with the ankle, not over the foot, shoulders away from the ears, and then if you can, take the gaze towards the ceiling. Feeling nice and open, nice and strong, and we'll take 2 big deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale. 1 more, inhale. And exhale, so we take the gaze forwards, and again we start to edge that back foot in a little bit more, and then when you get to that tipping point where you can bring the weight into the front leg, we lean forwards, creating a T-shaped position, so our arms come out behind, coming to that balancing posture, our warrior 3. Now I said this is a beginner's class and this is challenging, so don't worry if you are falling, wobbling, it's all part of the fun. And just come and rejoin wherever you are and wherever you can. So from there, coming back up to stand in our mountain pose, and let's take an inhale, arms come up and overhead. Exhale, we refold, just working through our sun salutation. We inhale, flat back. Exhale, we refold. Let's take the feet back into that plank position again, lowering the knees or working all the way through plank into your cobra or your upward facing dog. Exhale, back into your downward facing dog. Look to hands and then step, hop, jump, however you like, into your forward fold. And then inhale, we come back up to stand, arms overhead. Exhale, mountain pose. So we're going to do one more balance just before we come back down to the mat and finish off our practice with some nice gentle stretches on the mat. So one more fun balance. We're going to do a tree pose. So there are 3 different ways you can do this depending on how brave you're feeling or how experienced you are. So the first option, we're going to be taking our right knee out to the side, and the weight's going to be coming onto the left leg first. So we can either take the foot to the inside of the ankle, the toes are on the ground. We can take the foot to the inside of the calf, or we can bring the foot to the inside of the thigh, and hands will be coming to prayer position at the chest. So just take a moment to figure out what works best for you. So either ankle, inside of the calf or inside of the thigh, and then hands to chest. And then when you get here in our tree pose, we're going to take an inhale, arms come up to the sky. If you can, see if you can look towards your hands. This is where my balance starts to really go. And then exhale, spread the hands wide like the branches of a tree. That's our full tree pose. And we'll just take a couple of breaths here. Again, if you're wobbling, if you're falling, that means your body is working. It takes a lot of concentration. So really see if you can try and pick a point on the wall or the ceiling and really focus on that. Exhale, let's bring the hands back to chest, and then lowering the foot to the ground, coming back into our mountain pose. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this time bringing the weight into the right leg. And then with the left foot either, we're taking the knee out to the side, either keeping the toes on the mat, inside of the calf or the inside of the thigh. The only thing we want to avoid is putting that pressure on the inside of the knee. So wherever you go, just try and avoid the knee. So I'm going to go on the inside of the calf like I did on the other side, hands in prayer position. And once you've got your balance, let's take those arms up and overhead. See if you can follow your gaze to the sky. And when you're ready, exhaling, spread those branches wide, take up space. Steady your breathing. Let's take 2 deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. And one more. Inhale. Exhale, we bring the palms back to the chest and we release the foot, just maybe giving your feet a little bit of a walk through, and then we'll come to stand back at the top of the mat. So let's make our way now down to the floor. We'll just do a few gentle twists and folds before we move on to our final posture, our resting posture. So let's inhale one more time, the arms come up and overhead. We exhale, we release the hands down towards the mat, allowing the body to fold over the legs. Inhale, coming into that flat back, fingers are on the floor or on the shins. And exhale, we fold. From here, taking the feet back again into that plank position, and then either lowering the knees or allowing yourself to lower all the way through plank onto the belly. From here, wherever you are, we're just going to push back onto the knees, and we're just going to make our way into a seated position. So I'm going to work through just a couple of folds here. Just double check where we are on time. Yeah, just about right. So taking the legs out in front of you, nice straight spine. It's actually really hard. I certainly find it really hard to kind of just sit up with a straight spine with the legs out. So if you do want to prop yourself up on a blanket or anything, feel free to do that. And then we're just going to bring that left foot to the inside of the thigh, a little bit like we just did with our standing tree pose. Flexing through that extended foot, we inhale the arms up And then as we exhale, reach forward, reach towards your feet, or you can reach past your feet depending on where you are. And we're just gently starting to fold over that extended leg. What we're working towards is really trying to keep the spine as straight as possible and reaching the chin towards the shin. If you are nowhere near that, that's absolutely fine. But just really think about kind of keeping the back straight. It's better to reach forward than reach over. So imagine reaching forwards and just allow yourself to relax into this fold. Taking a few deep breaths here. And then on the next exhale, let's bring the foot in. This time taking the left leg out in front, the right foot comes to the inside of the thigh. Extending through that leg, flexing through that foot. We inhale the arms up. And again, imagine you're reaching forwards, imagine you're reaching past the foot if you can. And then folding over, allowing the head to hang. No tension in the neck. And we're just slowing down, just regulating our breathing again. And inhaling back up to seated. And then from here, we're going to bring both of our feet together. So in our seated position, soles of the feet come together into our butterfly pose. So the further away from you the feet are, the less intense the stretch. So it's completely up to you how close you want to bring the feet towards the body. Just holding onto the feet, maybe just giving yourself a really nice, indulgent little foot massage while we're here. You deserve it. And when you're ready, just holding onto the feet, we're just going to bend over the legs, bringing the head. Eventually, the idea is to try and bring the head towards the feet. Maybe you are already there. Wherever you are, just allowing the head to hang, feeling that nice deep stretch in the groin. And just taking a few breaths here. And inhale, make your way back up to the seat. Bring the knees together. And we're just going to come now to lie down on your mat. I'm just going to take one nice kind of supine twist before we move into our Savasana. So coming down to lie on the mat, hoping everyone can still see me okay. And then we'll bring that right knee in towards the chest. Right arm is out to the side. And using the left hand just to gently guide the right knee over towards the left. And your gaze over to the right. So you're really feeling that nice stretch in the spine. Try and keep the shoulders in contact with the mat. If your shoulder is lifting off the mat, then you've gone a little bit too far. And inhaling back into center, lowering the right leg. Let's go on the other side, bringing the left knee in. Left arm is out to the side, and we're using the right hand just to guide that leg over, coming to a twist. And if you can, taking the gaze over to the left just to intensify that stretch just a little bit more. Lovely. And coming back to center this time, bring both knees in towards the chest. Wrap your arms around your legs and give yourself a giant hug. Maybe just rocking slightly from side to side, just massaging that lower back. And then from here, just taking the legs now down and out, coming into our final pose, our Savasana, which is our corpse, our resting pose. Arms are down by your sides wherever it feels comfortable, feet splaying out to the sides. Palms are facing the ceiling. And then just close your eyes here. And we're just going to take a minute to allow our breathing to return to its natural rhythm. And to just kind of allow all of the good stuff that we've just done for our bodies and for our minds, allowing it all just to sink in a little bit. A little bit goes a long way in yoga, so you can feel very proud of yourselves that you've done something good for your body and your mind this afternoon, getting yourselves ready for the weekend. So let's just take a really quick scan of the body, just making sure that everything is nice and relaxed, starting at the toes. Just bring your awareness to the feet, make sure you're not holding any tension in the toes, you're not scrunching anything up. Notice the weight of the heels pressing into the mat. And then moving your attention up the legs, noticing all the places that the body is in contact with the mat, the backs of the calves and the thighs. Bringing the attention into the hips and then the belly. Noticing how the belly gently rises and falls in time with your breathing. And then moving the attention up again, this time into the chest. Feeling the chest expand and contract, rise and fall with your breath. And then bringing the attention now into the face. Just checking that your eyes are gently closed, that we're not screwing up the face. Relax the muscles in the jaw and the mouth. Ease any tension in the forehead. And now take the biggest breath you've taken all day, a nice big inhale through the nose. And exhale it out. And one more like that. Inhale through the nose. And we exhale. So just bringing a little bit of life back into the body, wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers. Maybe take those arms overhead and have a lovely long stretch. And then rolling over onto your right hand side. Keep the eyes closed as you prop yourself back up. And come and join me back in a cross-legged seated position. We'll finish the practice, how we started. So we'll take a nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. We rise the arms up as we inhale, we exhale, hands in prayer position onto the chest. And I'd like to thank you all so very much for joining me in this live yoga class today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it was nice and relaxing and that you're feeling well rested in time for hopefully what is going to be a lovely sunny weekend. Thank you so much, and it was lovely taking you through this practice. Thank you. Bye.